We put literally 500 quid into this experiment. We were building a business to pay ourselves a salary.
We never thought it would get to this stage. To sell a handful of towels in a week was like amazing. I'm Hugo.
I'm Lizzie. We're the founders of OnlyCurls.
And we're Unemployable.
In the beginning, you spend so long trying to make yourself look bigger than you are. And then you get to a certain size and then you also want to look smaller again.
There's days when we don't love it quite as much as we probably appear to, but on the whole, it's been a fun journey.
Welcome to the Unemployables podcast and welcome to the Founders Lock-In. It is awesome to be joined by Hugo and Lizzie from OnlyCurls. You two, I take it, are very unemployable, hence why you're here. Am I right? I'm sensing you're unemployable. Is that right?
Now.
Now.
100% unemployable.
Yeah.
Are you? Welcome to the club. Listen, let's start from, let's start. I guess the beginning's always a good place to start. How many years old is this brand now?
9.
9.
Yeah. I hesitate because it was such humble beginnings. It was, the first couple of years was sort of alongside side hustle, alongside our full-time job. So I feel like really 7 years.
2018 is when it really sort of kicked on. 2016 is when it started.
Yeah, and 2018.
But it was really a kitchen table business.
So it only took you 2 years before you hit that kicker then. That's great. Can take some people a lot longer.
I was very motivated. So my background was fashion design. So I'd worked at some big companies, small companies. I worked in America for a while.
What was that like?
I actually worked for Abercrombie and Fitch. It was an interesting time, but really fun. I had a great time. I moved there in my early 20s to Columbus, Ohio, and I had.
I mean, this is when it was at the height of its fame.
I'd say.
Yeah,
it was
just after.
It was on the way down. I'd say. I think they were struggling to find people that wanted to work there in the States, and they came and employed lots of Brits, and I moved over there. It was
an amazing experience.
Amazing experience. I loved it. Made so many great friends. Actually, all my sort of best friends now were colleagues at Abercrombie. Really? So I had a great time. But I was a fashion designer, which ultimately is product development. I was working with factories, developing products. I was shopping, comp shopping the market, seeing what was missing all the time, looking at last year's sales, what gaps can we fill, what do we need to repeat to make the same amount of revenue, how are we going to grow it? It's very entrepreneurial. And I think being a designer gave me just a great training for what we eventually did.
So that was the start of wanting to think about doing it on your own?
It was, yeah.
Is it also discovering that you were unemployable at that stage, or did that happen later?
I was still employable at that stage, but I was getting a bit disenchanted with my job. So this would have been 2015. We also lived in London. We were thinking about having a family. Hugo and I are married. We were not married when we started OnlyCurls. It's like a miracle that we got through it and did end up getting married.
So you got married after you'd started it?
We got married 2 years ago.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, really, the business started when you fell pregnant with Etty. Wasn't it? That was the main sort of catalyst for things.
Yeah, there's, many reasons for why we started OnlyCurls. There was a definite gap for curly hair in the UK. I've always struggled with my hair. I couldn't find the right products.
Your hair is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
It is, right?
Having curly hair is a big challenge. It's a struggle, and I think so many of our customers, it's quite an emotive thing for our customers to discover our brand, and what we really want to do is make people feel really good about their hair and go away with great products and a great routine that changes their everyday life. Because when you do your hair in the morning, you leave the house feeling great, you have a better day.
When you have a good hair day, don't you just?
It makes a difference. So, that was one big catalyst to start the brand. The other was my salary barely covered London nursery fees. We wanted to have a family. I knew if we had 2 children, there wasn't much incentive for me to go back to my job. So we were really incentivized to be our own boss and put. I'm a workaholic. I mean, I love what I do, and I loved my career too. And I always, put in everything. And I'm like, if I'm going to do that, I'd rather do it for myself.
How about you, Hugo?
At the time, I was working for I was running events for TechCrunch, which is a tech startup company that showcased startups. And I was on the events team. I was going to all these events, seeing all these. It was all tech startups, but seeing all these founders starting businesses, mostly Americans, and it was quite inspiring, to be honest.
Really?
So it's kind of like, well, there's all these people who are like hustling to try and get their latest app or whatever it is up and running. It looks like quite a fun thing to do. Not that necessarily I had an app or anything to start or do anything like that, but it did feel like that was a way of life that I probably wouldn't necessarily have seen without being in that position.
That was for you. That was the catalyst then.
To doing something myself or ourselves.
Are you both working? Sorry, you were going to say.
It was also an American company. I think we both had that experience of working with Americans that just are like, we can do this, you know?
You get a bit beaten down here.
Yeah. That is the mentality, is it? You really could feel that, could you? That mentality of, we can do this.
I think it's a different culture in, again, a bit deep here, but like in the UK, it's a different attitude to sort of the business world in America, where it's very like, your business doesn't make it in America, you're like, right, we'll start again, do something else. So here it's kind of, I think people are just a bit more defeatist.
I think that's so true.
I'd say they're very solutions driven. And actually, when I worked at Abercrombie, I remember at the end of the day, we used to have this time that was called issues. And it was, you know, I used to design underwear. Well, the thread colour's a bit wrong. Is that okay? Can we approve it? And it was all these little issues. And we rebranded it to solutions. And I felt like that's sort of very American thing to do. And no, I think it was very good training. And I think we've kind of installed that positive attitude for sure within our company.
You said you're a workaholic.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that come from? Is it ever from early days? It's just it's been in you.
I think it has been in me. I think my parents did a really good job. I was talking about this earlier with Hugo in the car. Like, when I think back, my dad had his own business. He was an architect, and they, you know, they didn't give us pocket money. They encouraged us to work from a young age. You know, I was doing a paper round at 11. I think my dad actually, I think you had to be 13. So I think he actually signed up himself and he did the paper round with me. And, do you know, I always remember I used to get 2p per paper. Some of these drives were really long. I think I should have got more than 2p a paper. But, I always earned my money. And then as soon as I was 13, I worked in I used to do all the bacon rolls in a deli in my village and waitress and always work. Yeah, and I think that work ethic it was installed in me in a young age.
Are you workaholic, Hugo?
No.
Not as much as her.
That's probably a good thing right there.
I think we're a good pair.
Yeah.
I think we're good. You need a bit of.
I don't think we realised we were going to be a good pair in business when we started it. And I think there were so many things we didn't even think about. Like, Hugo was there in the tech world. He's always covered all the tech stuff, built a great tech stack that I would never have done. To be honest, if the business was just me, I'd probably still be packing the orders at home. Hugo, I'm more sort of brand, product, marketing. But, you know, I was quite happy with my little Instagram, packing these orders at home. Hugo's the one that has really built a kind of tech stack that's allowed us to scale.
So it's a brilliant mix. Do you fight?
Yes.
I keep quiet.
That's a relief. It's just a relief to hear that.
You know, we fight, but I don't think we fight in the way it's rare that we have a full blazing row.
Yeah, it does happen. But we do have, what we are careful with is we've got a big team now. There's 20 people on our team.
Wow.
And we have to be careful how we talk to each other and communicate with each other in front of the team.
Yes.
Like, you know, and there have been times when we have disagreed in front of the team, and I don't think it's good leadership. And we do have to make a conscious effort of how we talk to each other in front of team.
Because people also pick up on that, and that's just
and it's uncomfortable for them.
That's good for your relationship.
You know what it's like.
100%.
I mean, I don't know if
we know what it's like, don't we, Charles?
But so Lizzie and I, like certainly a lot of my friends have to make a conscious effort to spend time together with their other halves. Lizzie and I actually have to make an effort to be apart in a nice way, not in like I'm going away for a week and whatever. It's like I'm going to just make some time. Yeah, I wish.
Do you know, we always, when lockdown happened, it was really funny because we were always like, we've been in training for lockdown, right? There were so many couples that struggled because they had all this time together working from the same home, whereas Hugo and I had spent the past 3 years working from home together.
So you were ready?
Yeah, we were ready.
Because it was a complete shock, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Going back to something you said earlier, you have positioned yourself, which is great to see, is in many of the things, the face of the brand. Is that because it's just something that you want to do and you find easy to do, or is it something that you really made yourself do?
Really made myself do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely more introverted. I've done QVC this month and it's
How was that?
really good, but really out my comfort zone. And I think this business has taken me so far out my comfort zone when it comes to, I'm somebody that I don't even like having my picture taken. So having to get on camera and film things for social media, I do find hard.
How? So this is interesting because a lot of people feel like this. So how do you manage to achieve stepping out of your comfort zone to do it?
I think, again, it comes back to that leadership, because I know that if I don't do it, how does that appear to my team that also have to do it? And I think it's just part of it. I do have to. But saying that, I don't see myself as the face of the brand. This brand isn't named after me. Our social media, showcases so many different people and curls, and my team, we do a lot of that. I've been reading about it now, and they call it now employee generated content. I mean, we've been doing that for years. We were doing UGC before UGC was a thing because we didn't have the budget for anything else. Like, I get on camera because I can't afford a model, It's like in the early days, there was nobody else to do it. And I think, and the same, our customer service team will get on camera and do something. Like, it was just the way that we did things because we've always been bootstrapped.
Yeah.
The more you do, the more you get comfortable. Like my third time on QVC, I was like, okay, I've got this now.
I got this.
But yeah, I think it is.
We had a massive row.
Oh gosh, we did.
about
Oh,
QVC.
actually, that was our
It was a
most
big
recent
one.
work. I told
Yeah.
Hugo not to watch it. I told him not to watch it. The first time I do QVC, I was
disobeyed.
like,
Wow.
I don't want
I
you to
couldn't
watch
not
it.
watch. I had to watch. I had to.
Not only did he watch it, he went over
What
to
did he have to?
his
I
brother's
did- I
house and
didn't
watched
need-
it with my...
No, I only went there because you told me not to watch it with the kids, and the kids were at home with your mum who was staying over, and so I couldn't watch it at home. So I was like, the only way I'm going to watch this is some. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
part
Anyway,
from this. 'Cause
I was very
we had a big
angry. I
row
nearly
about
threw
that.
him out. Which so it sounds like it was a big deal at the time. I'd really put myself out of my comfort zone for that one.
So 2018, the brand really started to take off.
Yeah. So 2016. I mean, what I didn't say is
2016 started.
It started. We put literally 500 quid into this experiment. We were like, we sort of got through all the series that we'd been watching on Netflix. We were a bit bored. We were like, let's do something different. And
I think we read a blog on the Shopify website about starting a business with one product. I think it was a matcha tea brand that somebody had started with
Shopify
one single product, and it was like how I can start a business with one product over a weekend. And whoever it was, I can't remember who it was, but they sourced a product, stuck a label on it, designed a label, put a label on it, and put a Shopify store together, and started a business. And I don't know how well it did or whatever, but it was kind of like, oh, this is sort of something you can do. So let's try it.
It simplified it in our brains. I think I'd been trying to come up with business ideas for years and always thought it would be some sort of fashion line. And obviously that's so hard, so many different sizes, styles. You've got to change it every season. When I read this article, I was like, Hugo, we've just got to come up with one product. And the one product we came up with was a hair towel. And this was in 2016 when there wasn't really hair towels on the market, like microfiber hair towel. If you use a microfiber hair towel, it makes your hair less frizzy, it dries it faster, it's less damaging for the hair, but nobody knew about it. And I was shopping for one. Somebody had said to me, oh, it'll make your hair less frizzy. I was shopping for one and I couldn't find one. And I was like, Hugo, let's just try and sell some of these towels. So with 500 quid, we got a sample run of hair towels. I got some labels made from somewhere. I was literally on the sewing machine sewing these labels on.
We sat in a pub one evening and wrote out a whole list of names for the business, and then chose OnlyCurls, which actually has worked out quite well, really. Apart from the whole,
It's a great name.
Apart from the OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans
thing.
only the same
but
year
that was
it
after.
started.
Yeah, but But it works, so it's fine. And sorry, I interrupted you about the towels.
Yeah, so we 500 quid, built a website, Shopify made it very easy. And took some pictures. I remember reading a thing that was you can take product shots in the bathtub. I mean, it's so easy now with AI. That wasn't there. It's just iPhone. The backdrop was the bathtub. And we started selling these towels. And I think one of the best, one of my favorite moments, I remember launching this website, really excited. And then of course nothing happens. You've got to market these products to sell something. And I think Hugo put something on Reddit, just randomly, you need a microfiber towel for your curly hair. These ones are great. And then suddenly our phones did this cha-ching.
Day one.
And it was our first sale.
Day one we got an order and it was
how did that feel?
we both looked at each other and we were like, oh.
I'm so glad our phones were on loud. They cha-chinged at the same time. We just looked at each other. We were just yes. And then, no. I think we turned off cha-ching. You turned it off before me. I think it was Black Friday 2018 or something, and it was. Yeah.
I was with the founder for lunch quite recently. I won't say who, but he's had it on vibrate, and his whole time he's like, "What's that?" I mean, a big business. He says, "I would never ever tire of that sound or that feeling."
Yeah.
So that's why he never turns it off.
Cool. It is cool.
He's addicted to it, loves it, even though it's obviously not processing at the rate at which they're doing it per second.
Yeah.
Because it can't keep up with it. But anyway, it just made me think of that. It must be so exciting when you get a product and that happens.
Yeah, that was a cool moment.
Yeah, and then from then on, we sold a few towels. We built it all through social media, gifting lots of influencers. When when getting a little bit of momentum, it was I was packing these towels in the evening, dropping them out the post office on the way to work in the morning, doing a bit of Instagram, messaging influencers, following people, trying to build a social media following. I would do it on my commute on my way to work. I was going from Ravenscourt Park to Brixton. It was about an hour. So I had 2 hours every day that I could be on my phone doing all the Instagram stuff.
So it was a proper side hustle at that point.
It really was. It was really nice being at work, and you sort of not loving your job and sort of you'd see your phone and the little orders coming in. It was a little secret and it was good. And we then were right, maybe we should do some hair products. Maybe we should develop some hair products. And my background in fashion meant that I'd been used to working with factories, sourcing manufacturers. I said, it can't be that different, really. I've just got to find a manufacturer, give them a brief. No, it wasn't that different. I found a manufacturer, I gave them the brief, tested lots of different products, figured out what was missing in the market, which was a product that was lighter weight, so many hair products. And people still ask the question now to us, these products sticky. I've tried so many products and they're too heavy for my hair. We came up with a line that offered more sort of lightweight moisture for finer curly hair. And people really found their holy grail in these products and they kept selling out. And then the story went from there, really. We kept selling out these products. We kept selling out the products because we could only afford to buy 500 units at a time.
How are you... So what's really interesting about you is that you have a brilliant D2C model and now you're in the D2B model. Mm-hmm. So it'd be good to explore the differences between those and what that's meant in terms of how you've evolved as a business. But it's very hard to build a following. Is there any way that you can condense 1 or 2 or 3 brilliant tips for anybody that is at the moment trying to really build the D2C side of the business that could really help them do that?
There's a few things that I wish we'd done more of when we started. I think we did a lot of it, but I think I wish we'd filmed more content when we were starting out. So rough footage of we've got a lot of that, but we can never have enough of that because now looking back, it's really part of our it's really part of our story. The sort of the pictures of Lizzie literally would walk down to the post office with a pram with our eldest daughter now, Etty, who was a baby at the time, in a pram with bags of boxes attached to it and take it to the post office and we don't have any. We might have a couple of pictures.
We don't have any video. It was all pictures back then. It was all.
So I wish we'd had more video of us doing that. But that's one thing I'd say.
So video capturing.
Just the little moments that you don't even think are moments.
But why? For you, or because that could also be even
for the
more...
audience? They're interested in seeing that
really?
Behind the
also
scenes.
For you,
the raw reality at the beginning.
And because I think when you in the beginning, you spend so long trying to make yourself look bigger than you are, and then you get to a certain size, and then you also want to make it look smaller again because people can relate to that more.
So number one. is a piece of advice then is to,
Watch
as
more
if we're capturing
content.
the startups right now, is get filming.
And it doesn't need to be perfect. I think that's the thing. I've already mentioned I'm quite camera shy, so I can't often be like, no, don't take a picture now. But actually, it doesn't matter because that's the reality and people will resonate with that.
Okay, that's brilliant then. Anything else?
Be social in there. It's social media. You can't expect people to follow you if you're not engaging with their content too. So I think it's like get in the platform, make sure that you are following your community, engaging with your community, influencers in your community, building relationships with influencers, treating people like friends, really. I think that's,
So the word you use then is really really immerse yourself, get stuck into the social aspect of it. Don't be a passive player.
Yeah.
Really commit.
Yeah. And treat every interaction like a customer interaction. Like we have a platform that pulls all our DMs, all our comments on our ads, all the customer emails, chat from our website, all into one platform. And we treat every single, they come in as tickets, we treat them all the same as, a comment on social media, a DM is as high priority as an email. It's like, these are all touch points with our customers.
So don't prioritise.
Yeah, just treat them all. I see businesses that are like, don't accept DMs. I'm like, why would you not accept DMs? Yeah. Like, that's a really easy way of people to contact you. And like, we want that contact with our customer because then they can get to know us, like the brand, and eventually buy.
So number 2 is every single interaction is treated equally as whether it's through the website, whether it's through social media. It's all the same. Everyone gets a response. Everyone is treated like a customer. Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Yeah. I love that.
The one thing I would say, I don't know whether this is worthy of being number 3, but one thing that I would say has helped us is diving into new platforms and channels early. And what I mean by that is
like TikTok.
We were actually very early on TikTok, and I had to bully Lizzie into doing it. Because it was, at the time, quite a daunting task to have to... Because everyone thought TikTok was like, oh, you make silly lip-syncing dance movies, videos, whatever.
Quite like that.
but
I don't. I'd also just had our second baby, and I remember Hugo being like, I was juggling like... At this point, we were no longer packing the orders, but it was still just Hugo and I. And in fact, we were looking back at it recently, we did 4 million one year that was just Hugo and I, still just the two of us. And a big mistake that we've made in our journey is employing too late. Like, we're literally, and we're still doing that now. So
That's number 4. But number 3 is to embrace
embrace and try out and take a risk on on all types of social media. TikTok when we started was a new thing, and okay, now it's become a lot bigger than it is or we ever thought it would do. But there's loads of new things coming up all the time that you don't know what's going to be the next big thing, and you may as well, as a business, play in there and be part of it. If it doesn't take off, whatever, it doesn't matter. You haven't really lost anything. But if you get lucky and something takes off, then you'll be, early in it and it can work.
Okay, awesome. So how about on the other side, D2B, because you're now in Boots, which is a pretty awesome achievement. How's that been, and how obviously massively different is it to operate the other side of the business model?
This year has... How would you describe this year?
It's like year 1 again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like we launched in Boots in February this year, and they actually came to us to stock the products. I think they were getting loads of search when their customers were all asking for OnlyCurls, so it helped that they came to us. If you go to them, it's a different story, but so we were quite fortunate in that perspective. But up until that point, we'd been a direct-to-consumer business. Everything was on our website, all our data was in one place, all our email database, everything was like easy to kind of track and analyze. And when it came to running ads on Facebook or TikTok or whatever, you could turn the dial up, you could see the impact straight away.
But it had taken us years to get to that point of like being able to read this data, and it's suddenly we'd spent so many years of like running out of products, not forecasting properly, and we just really got a handle on it all. And we were able to read this data and forecast what's next. And then we were like, let's do retail. And it's just like we threw everything up in the air again this year. And everyone keeps asking me to like, what's our 3-year plan? Like, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just I don't even know what this weekend's going to be like of sales. It has been very new to navigate. And when you're in that and you're trying to navigate that, and the whole team are trying to build this new picture of what the business is looking like as a what's e-com going to do next? Well, Boots is on promo because it does impact it. And you've got everyone trying to muddle through it, and you're sort of, it's a challenge, and you keep forgetting to take a step back and then be like, hang on a minute, we're like literally one of the top curly hair brands in Boots, and it's still being run by Hugo and I and a small team, against these huge brands. And I think we keep having to say to our team, like, no, this is great. And it was a strategic move. It has, going into retail, especially because our own customer is very much a Boots shopper, it has like cannibalized some e-com, but it has brought new customers to us, and it's all working together very positively. And it was a strategic move to be less reliant on Meta, essentially.
You gave such great advice on the D2C. What advice would you give on making sure that you create a great relationship with a huge supplier a huge retailer like Boots?
That's a really
Don't
good
know
question.
If we can comment. Yeah, it's too early, really.
I think Hugo and I have always run the business very honestly.
Okay.
Like, we don't bullshit people, we're just like,
you can tell that. I love it.
We're very honest, and we're fair with our suppliers, and we're fair with our team. And when it comes to Boots, and they ask for something that we're honest with them, and we're realistic, and we've built a friendly relationship with the buyers, and it's working well, and it's selling well. So that's a good start to the relationship. I think they were blown away. They're like, who are these guys? But in terms of how to manage that, I do think our journey has been perhaps a bit untraditional. I think going for D2C first and then going into retail is a bit different. And actually, as a team, in terms of team building, we're finding it hard to find people that have navigated it that way rather than the other way around. Because I think so many brands go after it the other way, or their retail business is usually bigger than their
become
e-com.
famous, and that helps it to get customers easier, right?
And the marketing side of it, to make something work in retail, it does take significant marketing effort. But we've built it up.
And budget and stock, to have the inventory to send them pallets and pallets of product. You have to have confidence in your brand to take a risk like that.
It's such an investment.
It's a big investment, yeah. And it's we know that we have full confidence in the brand. So obviously, but because we've been running it for several years, but if you were brand new and went straight in, different challenge.
Yeah.
You have to be very ballsy to do that, I think.
And, people I say, why didn't we do it sooner? And it is that it's been a success because I think we've done it at the right time. We've got enough, safety stock for our own e-com that fulfills Boots. So we didn't need to, a lot of people would perhaps have to take investment and give away a big chunk of their business to go into Boots. But we didn't have to, because we've slowly built it over a number of years, which may seem slower to some people.
Yeah.
But to us, it's blown us away. I mean, we never expected it to turn into this.
Let's go into that, because one of the criteria of our research, one of them is that for the ownership, you can't have a situation where the founders have given up control of the business. You guys are not just in control of the business, you are very much in control of the business. Mm-hmm. So is that because the good old freedom, independence and flair that brings, is that something that you just want to keep, or is it just you couldn't ever think of anybody else coming into this business? What is the reason for that?
One of the reasons we started this business was to have more flexibility around our family. We started this business at the same time we were having children.
And we never thought it would get to this stage. So it's very hard to think about it looking back like that, because at the time it was, to sell a handful of towels in a week was amazing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, we're going to start this business, we're going to we're going to keep hold of it, we're not going to sell any of the business, give anything away to any investors. It was just like, sell some product, see what happens, and go from there, step by step.
I had a friend that worked in banking, and I remember her saying to me, well, are you building this business to sell it then? And I was just like, what are you talking about? No, like, I didn't get it. Like, I think not coming from any sort of that kind of investment banking background, or having never been in like sort of any finance side of a business, it just didn't really, we just weren't in that world. We were building a business to pay ourselves a salary.
Yeah.
And I was building a business in the beginning. My goal was to pay myself the difference of, once I'd gone to work, got my salary, paid the nursery fees, what was that contribution to our family? It was £100 a week. So I was like, I've got to make £100 a week. And that was my goal.
You guys are so human. I just love this. Because it's sometimes, and it's, sometimes you talk to people and it was always written in the stars that they're going to become as successful as they are. But it feels to me that it's not a shock, but it's like this is unexpected in some way.
Yeah.
Because it was never really an intention to become this big.
No, and we've worked hard. You create your own luck, don't you, in many ways. It's like we have I'm a workaholic. So, I start a business, we put everything into it. We just, we're brushing our teeth. It's a business meeting. Like, we work all the time. And it has grown into something that we didn't expect. And I think the other thing is we've always been quite reactive with the business, and we haven't really long-term planned. And I think so far that's definitely one of the reasons why we haven't taken investment, because we've never been able to comfortably go to someone and say, this is our next 3-year plan. Like, I don't think we really have got through yet the sort of workings in our own mind of the timeline of when we want to exit.
I think that's changed a bit now, though.
Yeah,
like
the goalposts keep changing.
Yeah.
So £100 a week is now,
I mean, obviously, being a beautiful business that a lot of people know about and will be very interested in. If there was an investor listening to this, thinking, "Oh, I'd love to have a chat," would you?
Well, that's the thing that I find quite tricky, is that you talk to a lot. We've had a lot of interest from outside investors and things like that since being in on your list, on some other like fairly high profile. Some press and things like that about the business. You get people messaging you out of the blue and things like that, and they all say, "So good that you've never taken any investment. It's such a good thing. You own everything. That's brilliant. Now will you take some investment?" And it's like, well, hang on a second. Where does that kind of?
What does that mean?
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll at some point we'll need to think about how we're gonna get to the next level, and that's a different story.
Yeah. We the next kind of stage for us in growth is international, and I think we really need some expertise and money to do that properly. So we'll never say never, but I think up until this point you've got
some great people here who can talk to you about that.
They're all waving. But having, our kids are now 7 and 5. We're in a different, going into a different chapter of our lives, and we have learned so much more. I think, we may look back and regret not taking investment sooner. We've had offers to sell the business, we could be, on a beach right now, but we think there's more that we can do. And that's the thing. And I think I'd rather look back and think, no, we did everything we could to make that as big as possible ourselves before bringing somebody in. We've also got to protect our relationship. I mean, bringing another third party in, having somebody, to answer to all the time and to justify what we're doing. I think, as husband and wife, I think you do have to protect that relationship too.
Yeah, 100%. You've created such a likable, lovable brand. You have. It's relatable. Is there anything that you can distill in terms of how you've made it so relatable to your following, to people that buy? Is there anything you can think of? Because you've obviously done it very, very, very well.
Everything we do in terms of our communication with our customers or prospective customers, whether it's email, like Lizzie says, DM, Instagram post or whatever, it's always about helping the customers.
Yeah.
And we really focus, everyone says, every business says, oh, we really focus on the customer, but we really, really did put that as our kind of North Star.
Really? That was everything.
Yeah. And in the beginning, I used to, I was there, it was only Hugo and I, we'd both be answering the customer emails. And I remember that was the first employee that we brought in, was a customer service manager. And I remember even at that point, Hugo was, we need to employ somebody. So I had our second baby. I came back and 24 hours later, I was there answering the customer emails. Like it took up all my time. And Hugo's like, we need to bring somebody in. And I was so reluctant because I was so protective of the way that we did it. It was so important to me that these customers left happy. And it wasn't even about, at that point, I've probably never heard someone use the word retention rate, like LTV, or all these things that now we're sort of tracking every day. And then it was just like...
Just be nice.
I just wanted to be nice. I just wanted people to have a nice experience.
Yeah.
That's how anyone that starts on our team, we'll put them in customer service first for at least for a day, just to sort of get to understand the customer, the questions, the things that come up. And the thing that comes up all the time is just treat the customer as if you would have wanted to be treated yourself.
Brilliant.
So I think that's kind of paid off. But yeah.
The question I just want to finish on is like, how would you describe the texture of my hair? Seriously, how would you describe it? Is it straight, curly, mixture?
I'd say you've got a slight wave there.
It's wavy, isn't it? Is it curly?
It's not curly.
It's
sort of quite high density.
I love that word, high density. I like that. It's high density. But my hair's always been really difficult. And as a kid, not naming any products or any brand, but there felt like it was a pressure that you had to have straight hair. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's, have I just made that up, or do you think they're really what? Because so as a teenager, I was thinking, I've got to do something about this. I've got to make it straight.
Yeah, and
I find that emotional. I find it hard.
But also, like,
high density hair is hard.
Yeah.
But there was that, but also there wasn't all the video tutorials now that help you know what to do with your hair. So for me as a teenager, I was brushing it, and like when you brush hair like mine, it just gets bigger and bigger. And my name's Lizzie, so obviously everyone called me Frizzy Lizzie. But it's I can't remember where.
Did that upset you?
Yes, I mean, yeah. And then and this is such a common theme with all our customers. We all forgot we had, anyone with hair like mine forgot we had wavy hair and just started straightening it, and I caused a lot of damage to my hair, and then decided to embrace my curls, and then couldn't find the right products, and OnlyCurls was born.
There was a pressure to straighten their hair, wasn't there?
There was a pressure to straighten
not just
hair.
me, is it?
And lots of, all the celebrities had gorgeous, straight, sleek hair. I think there's a whole narrative around that kind of hairstyle looking more professional, more put together. And as somebody with curly hair, you always feel a bit of an outsider. And that's why I think the brand has been so successful, because we built a community of all these people that feel like that and made them feel good about their hair. We've all grown up through those years of, pre-YouTube, pre-social media, where there was no video tutorials explaining to you how to do curly hair. So we'd brush it, get bigger and bigger and frizzier. And a lot of people do have a tricky relationship with their curly hair. I
tried to straighten my hair and I looked weird. I did. I looked so weird. I remember looking in the mirror going, John, you look really weird. Like, really weird.
It's really in the curly hair with men. We're actually about to launch our first men's product.
Are you?
Yeah, have you heard about the broccoli?
No. Do tell.
I don't know if they're still calling it that now, but curly hair's really trendy with young men.
Is it? High density?
High density perms. Perms are back, and you will notice this everywhere.
Back.
They're back. They've been back for a while. I think. I'm quite old now. I'm late to the trend, but yeah, in schools, the teenagers, you'll notice it now. Brilliant. So many perms.
Back in fantastic. Listen, I'm so glad. Number one, you guys are on the list this year for being in the FEBE Growth 100. It's amazing having you in the gang. Like, already you've coming to our events, and I hope you're loving it, because we're absolutely loving having you, because a big part of FEBE is bringing real people together, and you're very, very real, and we love that. Hope you're enjoying it.
You do.
And you are enjoying it.
We are,
right?
yeah.
But listen, I wanted to say what you're doing, the growth you're achieving, it's obvious that you're absolutely loving it, and it feels like the journey's just going to go to a whole nother level, and there's going to be many more chapters coming. Is that right?
There's days when we don't love it quite as much as we probably appear to, but on the whole, it's been a fun journey. And
I think we still feel like we have a lot to achieve.
Yeah.
There's still opportunity, which is exciting, but we are tired.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in to that pub, whatever it's called.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you 6 questions. Don't overthink it. Shoot from the heart. Are you ready to go?
We're ready.
Okay, right. That's dramatic, wasn't it? What's been the biggest surprise about running a business?
I never really thought I would become a manager. Like I never anticipated building a big team. And
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
So running people.
yeah.
Yeah. What's been the best advice you've ever been given?
Do you know, I mean, I don't always give credit to my husband, but one thing that he said in the beginning...
I wasn't expecting this, but keep going.
No,
You're loving it.
Do you know, I'm actually more of an introvert than he is. And actually one thing he said in the beginning was we have to say yes to things, like we have to network. I'm not a natural networker.
Yeah.
We need to say yes to things. Any awards, events, let's go. So many doors have been unlocked because of that. So yeah, I'm gonna give him credit for that one.
Cool, take it.
If you had to start a new business tomorrow, what kind of business would you start?
I can't tell you them because I've got so many good ideas.
really?
Yeah, our daughter as well has got loads of good ideas.
So serial entrepreneurs, watch this space. Love it. What do you wish you knew before you started your business?
I think all the things we didn't know was our superpower.
Really?
If we were going to start again knowing what we knew, would we do it again so sort of fast and loose and
and
without worries, like that naivety and not really knowing all the kind of things that could go wrong? We just went for it and didn't worry.
And didn't overthink.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not to overthink things.
Love it. What have you sacrificed to build your business?
We built this business to have time for our family, with our children. And the bigger it gets, the more it consumes us. And what I never want to, 10 years down the road, our kids to say to us, you were always working. So I think now they're getting a bit older, we're really having to manage that. And any parent knows the juggle's hard, whatever you're doing, whatever job you've got, it is a juggle. But we have definitely sacrificed family, seeing friends.
But on the flip side to that, we also have the freedom to be there, drop off, take our kids to school or pick up or whatever. So we can kind of coordinate that. It's hard, it's not easy, and there's times when we're not able to, whatever. But like, you know, we've opened up a new office stroke shop, and it's 5 minutes down the road from where Etty goes to school. So that's kind of.
But you can never 100%. We've not got to the stage yet where we can go on holiday and turn off our phones.
It never happens. I've not met anyone yet who's really in our game who sorted it, so I wouldn't beat yourself up on that. How would you describe the life of an entrepreneur?
Pretty frantic.
It's like a game of whack-a-mole. It's just like solving problems here, something firefighting here. Do you know what? I think it's very varied, and every day's different, and I thrive in that. I love that. I don't mind, lack of routine and things being. I think you've got to be a true multitasker, and you've got to be ready to sort of roll the sleeves up and get involved. And no day for me is the same, and I love that.
That's what makes it special, right? Mm-hmm. This is getting really competitive. We've got Hugo and Lizzie from OnlyCurls. Lizzie, take it away.
I was just saying in my head I was going to be really good at this.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You really let us like that.
This is so embarrassing.
Oh! Try again.
I don't even want to do my other thing.
You've got to do 3 more.
I'll stick to starting with
We've lost the dart. Yeah. We actually lost the dart. Here we go. Right. Well,
I don't know what to say.
I'm nervous, Lizzie, but we've got 3 more.
I don't want to do it. I'm so embarrassed.
How can you not throw a dart?
I don't know.
Wait.
No. Can I go a bit closer?
Yeah, come closer. Please come closer.
I think I need my eyes testing.
Oh! Oh my goodness.
Last one. Get a bullseye. Go on.
What is the tactic?
You throw it at the ball.
Well, I know that, but then I'm going to throw it hard and through the.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Wow.
Hugo, your turn. 63.
What an act to follow.
63. 63 is the highest.
Okay. Right.
Oh, he's good. He's good. Right, 20. Good solid start.
Oh!
Nice. Good.
Oh no.
I'm introducing something like you've never
Well done.
You're an embarrassment.
In my head, I was going to be really good, and that's what's so embarrassing.
Cool. Right, there we go. Smashed it.